Right, it's Wednesday and I wasn't sure when I was even going to get started making the video because I've just come down here. I've been tucking into a curry for breakfast because otherwise it's going to get chucked away. When I found another one of these things, the relay that might be at fault in that 600. During the time of filming this, you won't have even seen this taken out of the 600 to find out whether it was wrong or not. But I did. I did it yesterday and I found that it looked okay. But I did a couple of dabs of solder on it anyway. But I'm not very good with a soldering iron, so maybe I'll have a look at this one. This one also looks perfectly good, but the soldering is different. The soldering looks like it might be original. I can't remember the Harry Seacombe tune from yesterday, so I'll just have to make a new one up. Well, that was a bit of short-lived excitement. They're slightly different. After an entirely pleasant test drive in a Subaru, I am now going to bung on this battery onto that car known as Ronda and see if it works. I haven't really got loads of time for messing around today with this, so hopefully it will just work and that will be the end of that issue. Out and in, and the moment of truth. But I haven't really got a massive feeling this is going to work either. Oh, it does! Hurrah! That is the first time I've had this car started off of its own battery rather than having to jump it. So there we go. It wasn't even that difficult. I don't know what the trouble was. It does stink a bit though. Question is, why is it so important that I move it? Well, it's not actually. I just need to make sure it's mobile. And now that it is, I want to move it because I think I prefer a petrol car in the way than a diesel that takes that amount of cranking to get going. I've missed Nigel too much over the past couple of days, so I'm going to have to take him for a drive. In my Subaru Legacy film, which you may have seen, or you may be about to see, or you may not be seeing it because you're not interested in Subaru Legacies and you only like, Rover, I said something that I never thought I'd say, and that's all I'm going to explain. What a tease. What about this for a little quandary? Also, you may as well know that a while back I did a no-nonsense sales pitch video for my car, Nigel. Here is Nigel, in case you don't know what it looks like. Now, in this video, I made a bit of a joke and said it's up for sale for £83,000. But, obviously, it's very unlikely anyone's really going to come up with that kind of money very quickly to purchase this car, and I may be kept with it for a while. Actually, this car is priceless. Because what if somebody gave me £83,000 for this car? And I thought, well, that's okay. I can just buy another Renault 25 and just do all the same thing again. But I wouldn't, would I? It wouldn't happen. It wouldn't be the same car. And the feeling I get from this car by doing that would never be back. Does this make this car actually priceless? It does. If I had millions and millions of pounds, it would definitely be priceless because I wouldn't accept £83,000 for it. How bizarre is that? Yeah. If I was one of these super rich people that basically £83,000 was a bit of pocket change, why would I accept it? You just wouldn't, would you? Unless you didn't like it. And obviously I do like it. So should you. It seems I have quite a few people to thank, especially Simon Brader and Mr. and Mrs. Prelude. But Ali Mack has sent me a little beer token, and he said it's quite specifically for beer. So I've got to spend it on beer. That's a great way for me to have a guilt-free beer. So I really do appreciate that, Ali Mack. Ali Mack Mechanical, what a top chap. I'm glad you said that. Do you know what, this is what my videos are usually about. Me coming in, trying something, knowing it's not going to work, but trying it anyway. Whilst having a little gander into the bonnet, I have found this stray wire and then an earth point just down there that's all frayed. My presumption is that that's supposed to be attached to that. Could this be the cause of the problem? I've just lost one of these, the infamous 10mm socket, down into the front of the car somewhere where I'll probably never find it again. Well, this is an old familiar sight. The lug and frayed cable. That cable's goosted. There's no earthing going on with that. Yeah. Looks like my beard, doesn't it? Well, there's a bit of the cable's not too good. And the old lug there. And here's a new lug. Cable stripped down just a little bit, but it's still a bit grotty looking. There's not much I can do about that. Come here, kitty. Meow. That was abrupt, wasn't it? Suddenly the end of the day happened and I'd stopped filming and I didn't even think to tell anyone. Who should I tell? Who am I talking to? I've got another job to do down here. Currently the yard is full of cars, but it's starting to spread a bit, and so I'm going to have to do something before I start getting told off of the landlord for using up more space than what I'm paying for. So down here are 2 cars that are not mine, and that takes up quite a bit of space. What can I do about this? Well, the trouble is I could do with this car not being down this end, because this is where it's a bit, well, earthy, and this could do with being on dry ground. This Seat there, which isn't mine, is probably going to be a bit better protected against the rusty stuff, and that could do with being down there instead. There's quite a bit of moving around. Going off on a bit of a tangent here. The other day I put this car up for sale as a project, and I think that's a good idea, because although at some point in the future maybe the project Nigel yard will be able to accommodate such things as this coming in and then going back out the door again in a few weeks all fixed up, certainly at the moment it can't, and I have to concentrate on the easier jobs where something can happen. But in the meantime, cars like this and this do get saved. So why can't they just go up as a project straight away for anybody who's interested? Oh, Project Christine there. May as well go. If anybody's interested in it, then I'm going to think up a price for it as it is, because I don't know at what point I will be able to get this job done properly on it. The welding for some isn't really a big issue, but for me it is, because I don't have the gear. Same with this one, Project Rhonda. When I'll get around to actually doing everything that this needs, I don't know. Actually, it doesn't really need much, does it? It needs the brakes bleeding and some tyres or something like that anyway. Right, I'll come back to that one. Harry, yes, Project Harry. I'll carry on trying to fix this, but in the meantime it may as well go up as a project for somebody else. Right, let's start this. There are all the keys I need to do this little move around mission, which definitely needs doing. reliant on a lot of batteries actually working, except for Max's, because I took the battery out of that car to put in Benny. It's a good battery. Time to put this lot back away in a different order. That's novel. I'm using my tripod to rest my phone against, just because I'm curious if recording through earphones gives you stereo. Hello, 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 hello. Anyway, back to some business. How about this Rover over here, the one known as Christine, the press release 45 in green with green seats, green carpet, 1.8 CVT automatic, runs and drives quite well, needs the floor pan welding. As it is. £700. I think that's quite cheap. Doesn't mean I've given up on it, it just means that it's for sale. And then Harry, my newest acquisition, the Rover 620 that needs a catalytic converter because some thieving swine took it off to fill his bag of non-runner for some reason. £600. Nigel, I'm going to move you to somewhere more suitable. The time has come. Come on, Christine, find yourself a new owner, because this isn't really working. It's just not working out, is it? Here we have this car then. It is a pre-production Rover 25, just for the dignitaries and the like at the time, in the year 2000. And in here, such luxuries as green seats and 4 electric windows. An immensely saggy headlining, unfortunately, but it's to be expected. The passenger seat, as you can see, isn't bolted to the floor, and that's because the floor is disappearing. There's a substantial hole in the floor there, but it's not massively uncommon with these cars. And as far as I know, that's all it actually needs for an MOT. Because I've had it started, I've driven it around the yard, it drives without any clonks or anything like that. The engine's okay, it's not the smoothest K-series ever, but it's not the worst either. It's got a nice kind of velvety finish on inside the glove box, yes. If you've ever felt somebody's head when they've just shaven it, then you'll know what that feels like. It's on some bricks, but it's starting to get a little bit taken over by the weeds at the moment. But as you can see, it's got alloy wheels, it's quite straight, but the paint's just a bit rough in places. And the headlamps do need a good polish. If you can do welding, I don't think the headlamps will be a problem for you. I think there was only a few of these in this colour made, and there might only be about 3 in existence today. So it is what you might call a bit of a rare find. And if I don't do some gardening soon, it's not going to be a find at all, because I won't know where it is. Yes, it is nice. But something's got to give at some point, and I mean, it's not doing any harm sitting here. In fact, it could sit here for another year, it wouldn't really make too much difference. You never know, in another year, maybe Project Nigel will have taken off and I'll have, I don't know, 50,000 subscribers, and I'll have enough from the income to actually do these kind of jobs on there. But currently, I don't. My job is to save these cars. Saving it, yeah. And sometimes that job just means finding somebody else to buy it who can basically fix it when I can't. This car, known as Project Christine, is either going to stay here until these jobs can be done, or it will be sold on as a project. It's not going to be broken. I'm not going to sell it as spares. If you want to buy it, the promise is that you have to mend it. Because this car's got some provenance, and that's the point. It's the first 45, or one of the very first. So to just take it apart isn't really what I want.